Uganda is the most youthful country in East Africa, where 80% of the population is below the age of 35 years, and it's this youthful stage that is productive for a nation.
Have a cup of coffee.
In an effort to understand the values, altitudes, concerns, and inspiration of the group, the East African Institute of the Aga Khan University carried out a survey which was launched today at the Kampala Serena Hotel.
This data is now being handed over to you, and I declare it yours. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
When asked what the youth valued, 79% said valued faith first, 47% valued work, 39% valued family first, 37% valued wealth, and 25% valued freedom, and only 5% valued integrity first.
Very excited by this study for two reasons. Firstly, I think it's very, very important that this kind of research is filtered through the lens, through the prism of impartial, evidence-based analysis.
In other findings, unemployment among the youth is at 52%, and unemployment was highest among rural women at 62%. 22% of the youth, according to the survey, are reportedly self-employed, while 26% were in formal employment, and specifically self-employment rates were lowest among the youth with university-level education.
There's no running away from the youngness and the youthfulness of our societies. And some of the problems that occur as a result of an omission today will haunt us in the long future.
The survey also highlights that while the youth are concerned about unemployment, they are willing to be part of the solution by creating jobs through entrepreneurship.
There's a lot of positive conversation about Africa, and these young people live in this continent, so they understand that. So they're using that to construct a basis for understanding and guesstimating the future.
Concerning their aspirations, the survey reveals that 48% would like to go into business, compared to 24% who wish to pursue careers such as engineering, law, medicine, and teaching.
Business is hard, let me tell you. It's harder than medicine. It's harder than any other. You have to keep thinking. While in another job, I don't think you sit there and think, what should be the cure for malaria? The cure for malaria is already there. You will not think it up. But in business, you have to keep thinking, you have to keep innovating. So it's really, really hard.
About 12% of the youth would wish to go into farming, and 13% of the youth aspire to be powerful politicians.
I want to talk about value chain, where young people would fit. Growing of crops already takes away young people because they don't have land.
I think my take is what the government needs to do is to invest more in self-employment. Things like what the minister was sharing, the Youth Venture Capital Fund, the Youth Livelihood Fund, the graduate scheme needs to be rethought more with wide consultation involving youth.
The survey also reveals that 68% believed it is important to vote and would participate in an election, while 54% believed they had the power to make a difference. When asked what they think about the government, 80% said they trust the government, 88% trust families first, 84% trust religious institutions, and 75% trust politicians. This raised a lot of debate.
Some of us are pretty surprised by some of these things. 80% support government, but 80% support government, 46% of our young people have knowledge of government initiatives. So 46% have some knowledge, but 80% support the government. They do not know anything about it. But the contrast is interesting.
On education levels among the youth in Uganda, 71% of the youth had post-primary level of education, only 18% of the youth had primary level of education, and 39% of the youth had post-secondary level of education.
Education system, we are saying we are a very educated population, but we don't have those practical skills. And it's very true. I found that as well when I joined the workforce. And a lot of times we chat about this and that and say, but why did I go to school?
I would say to President Museveni and Mr. Kenyatta or Mr. Magufuli or Kagame or Nkurunziza that your investments in free primary education and universal access to education is paying dividends.
The Minister of State for Youth and Children Affairs, Florence Nachwala-Chiyingi, who was the guest of honor, pledged on behalf of the government to use the findings to find solutions to the challenges of the youth in the country.
That would probably form a basis. And I believe with this kind of report, the young people's lives will never be the same again. Certainly somewhere it will change the lives of the young people and make the world a better place.
The data survey, according to the East African Institute of the Aga Khan University, is intended to gather data that can form the debate on how to address the problems that face the youth in the region. Kimuli Kigozi, NTV.